The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are currently finalizing a deal with offensive coordinator Dirk Koetter to make him the 11th head coach in franchise history. And there's some irony here in the fact that throughout Lovie Smith's time coaching in the National Football League, whether it was in Chicago with the Bears or whether it was in Tampa Bay, there was always this knock that he wasn't able to find the right offensive coordinator. He always had great defense, but he never had an offense to match. Well, in this situation, he finally found the right guy, and unfortunately for him, it was someone that ended up replacing him. But Dirk Koetter is going to be the new head coach of the Bucs. The team has not confirmed it. They're still finalizing the deal, but that's what we know right now. And when you look at it, more than likely this also means that a number of those staff members that have been waiting in the wings right now for the Bucs, their offensive staff members, well, that staff is going to be intact, and that should go a long way in helping continue to develop Jameis Winston. And that can also go a long way in helping that offensive line that we saw so much improvement from this past year, helping them continue to gel. And when you look at that, this is an offensive line that allowed more quarterback hits than any other team in the league and was among the highest as far as giving up sacks. And the improvement that they made this past year, why would you want to break that up? More than likely, you're going to keep that unit intact. You're going to keep that coaching staff intact, and so that'll help everyone along too. So a lot of these offensive coaches for the Bucs right now have just been waiting in the wings, trying to figure out whether or not Koetter's going to be the guy. Kept hearing both inside the organization and around the league that Koetter was their number one candidate, but at the same time, you're just kind of wondering, well, what's taking everybody so long? Is it because Koetter had hip surgery and he's on the mend from it? What's the deal here? He also had some other teams that he had an interview with as well. But you saw teams like the 49ers, they ended up going with Chip Kelly as their head coach. You also saw the Dolphins, they went with Adam Gase. And so the chips started to fall, and it looked like Koetter wasn't going to get those opportunities, and so it just made sense for the Bucs to hire him. So we're still waiting to see if, in fact, he is going to hire members of his offensive staff, and also what's he going to do on defense. I think a lot of people are wondering if Mike Smith doesn't get a head coaching opportunity, could they bring him on board? Of course, Mike Smith, most recently the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Although I will say this too, the knock on Mike Smith was his defense. He only had one really premier defensive player in John Abraham, but they really didn't do very good of a job as far as getting sacks on the quarterback. And so curious to see what's going to happen there. Obviously, you want a scheme that's going to be similar to what the Bucs ran last year, or at least one that can utilize the personnel that they have. Smith's a 4-3 guy, although when Mike Nolan was brought into Atlanta, you saw them tinker with that, and you saw them do a lot of 3-4 fronts as well. So stay tuned for all of that, and you can be sure that at sportstalkflorida.com, as well as Sports Talk 1040 The Team, Sports Talk 1080 The Team, we will keep everybody posted on the latest as the Bucs make this hire, and as well as they start to make other hires, including those coordinator positions. With Sports Talk Florida, I'm Jenna Lane.